If God couldn't keep Eve happy in the Garden of Eden, a literal paradise, what makes you think you can make her happy today? Let that sink in. Because as much as men are in love, women are in business. And though you might feel it, you might not always be able to explain it. You've seen the signs. She told you she loved you, then disappeared when you were broke. She praised your ambition, but left when someone else had more. And no one talks about it. No one prepares men for the cold, calculated side of female nature. This isn't a story of hate. It's a story of reality. The romance we've been taught versus the reality we live in. From childhood, we are fed a constant stream of romance. Men are raised to believe that love is pure, love is unconditional, and women are soft, nurturing, and deeply emotional creatures. Fairy tales paint a picture of women who need saving, who are loyal, who stand by their man no matter the circumstances. And we buy into it. We fall for it hard. But what happens when the romance turns into real life? When the fairy tale ends, and you realize that love isn't about how much you give, but how much you can hold on to, you see, the truth is much darker. Women are not inherently these soft, pure beings they've been made out to be. The reality is that women are conditioned to be transactional, and they play the game of life as if it's a business deal, because, in many ways, it is. Think about it. Why does a woman stay with a man who's lost his job, but not with the same man when he's still struggling months later? Why is her love so easily swayed by his financial instability? Why does her affection fade when his ambitions falter? And why do many men not see this for what it truly is? Because society has convinced them that women are inherently loyal and nurturing, not realizing that, just like in any business, loyalty is often a contract, subject to review and renegotiation. Women are in business, men are in love. We've all heard it. We've all felt it. She may say she loves you, but when your value starts to drop, whether it's due to financial issues, lack of ambition, or any sort of weakness in your market position, her love can evaporate just as quickly. This is not a flaw in women. It's a part of their nature, one that's ingrained in them, a result of centuries of survival instincts, and one that's been refined by societal expectations. When women fall in love, it's not the pure, unconditional love we've been taught to expect. It's more of a business arrangement than a romantic partnership. Think about it. In modern society, power is not physical anymore. The battle for survival is no longer fought with swords or fists, but with influence, wealth, and status. When a woman meets a man, she is sizing him up, not just emotionally, but through a series of unconscious calculations. What does he offer her? Does he provide financial security? Does he offer social status? Does he have ambition? Can he offer protection or comfort in times of distress? She might tell you she just wants someone who loves her for who she is. But how often does this play out in reality? Rarely. Most women are hyper-aware of what a man can offer them. And once that value diminishes or the man stops being able to provide the things they need, whether it's material or emotional, they start to look elsewhere. The unspoken rule of female nature. If you've never heard of it, hypergamy refers to the instinctive behavior of women to seek partners who are above them in terms of status, wealth, or power. It's a biological instinct that drives women to seek the most valuable mate they can secure for their survival and that of their children. Hypergamy is not a conscious decision. It's an ingrained instinct that women are often not even aware of. It's primal. In the past, this meant seeking a man who could provide food, shelter, and protection. In a modern world, this has evolved into seeking a partner who can offer more than she currently has. Whether it's financial security, social standing, or even something as intangible as the prestige of being associated with a high-status individual. And for women, the urge to mate up is powerful. It's why, when you see a woman who once adored you suddenly gravitate towards someone who is more successful, richer, or socially influential, you shouldn't be surprised. It's hardwired. It's a survival instinct. The truth is, women are not loyal to you. They're loyal to the position you provide for them. If your status shifts or drops, their affection often follows suit. And just like any good business person, They're always looking to make the best deal for themselves. Hypergamy is a survival mechanism. Don't take it personally when a woman moves on after your resources are depleted. The power of women manipulation. It's not evil, just real. There's a tendency to view women's actions in this arena as manipulative, as if there's some inherent malice behind their decisions. But manipulation isn't always evil, it's power. And that power is one of the tools women use to go through the world. In a world where strength is measured in emotions, indirect power is the most potent form of influence. Women are taught to be indirect. They are conditioned to smile when they don't mean it, to flirt when it suits them, to cry when logic fails them. They are taught to play the game with subtleties, not with raw aggression, because being overtly assertive as a woman often doesn't get them what they want. But being subtle can win them everything. And here's the catch. Many men are blind to this because they are raised to serve, to chase, and to protect. They are taught to believe that women are inherently good-hearted and pure, without considering that women have learned to use what they have to get what they want. For example, in the world of dating and relationships, this power is evident in the way many women use sex and affection as bargaining tools. They know the power of their allure, and they're not afraid to use it. A man may think he's winning her over with his charm, money, or status, but the reality is she's often securing a better deal for herself. When things go wrong, she pulls away, and his emotional attachment blinds him to the manipulation. The hard truth about women and divorce. Now, let's talk about divorce statistics for a moment. 80% of divorces are initiated by women. This is a staggering number and one that raises questions about the true nature of relationships and why they end. Men often pour their hearts and souls into a relationship, but when their value starts to decrease, they often find that the woman they've devoted themselves to is quick to walk away. Why? Because women don't stay if the deal isn't beneficial anymore. And let's not forget about custody battles. 85% of the time, men lose custody of their children in divorce cases. Why? Because the system is skewed in favor of women. Even though men may have been the primary earners and the ones who provided for the family, women are often seen as the more nurturing parent by default, regardless of the circumstances. But it's not just the legal system. Society at large has a tendency to paint women as the victims in every relationship breakdown. If a woman cheats, she's often excused as being unhappy. If a man cheats, he's painted as a monster. If a woman leaves, it's often explained as her finding herself, while a man who leaves is labeled as abandoning his family. Now, the modern man is waking up to the reality of his position in relationships. He's realizing that love isn't the unconditional, pure emotion he's been taught to believe in. Instead, it's a transaction, a negotiation. Men are beginning to understand that they're not just competing for love. They're competing for resources, status, and influence. And here's the thing. This isn't about hating women. It's about waking up. It's about understanding that if you don't see the game for what it is, you're already losing. Once you understand that relationships, at least the modern ones, are transactions, you stop over-investing emotionally. You stop thinking that love is something that will always be returned to you, no matter what. You start playing smarter. You are a king, and the prize, so start acting like one. So what now? Protect yourself and play the game. The reality is simple. Don't be naive. Understand female nature, not with bitterness, but with awareness. Play the game without emotion. Love, but protect yourself. Give, but only when it's earned. Lead, but never chase validation. And above all, stop pedestalizing women. The moment you stop treating them like they're on a pedestal is the moment you start becoming a man. No one is telling you to hate women. I'm just asking you to see them for who they are. Not who society has told you they are. But what happens when you flip the script? When you stop chasing and start leading. When you stop putting women on a pedestal and start building yourself up. You begin to realize that she is in business. You're in love. And now the game has changed. You start setting your boundaries. You start valuing yourself more than you value someone else's attention. You stop allowing the illusions of romantic love to cloud your vision. And you begin to see relationships for what they truly are, transactions. You no longer invest blindly. You invest wisely, strategically, and with purpose. Remember this. She's in business. You're in love. Now flip the script.